Anybody that has just wanted to put on muscle knows and can sense what's some of the frustration that you feel when you're trying to put on muscle but you just can't get there. It's from all the way going back to the days of those little cartoons of the guy on the beach who's a skinny guy getting kicked by the guy with the big muscles. And so you work real hard trying to make those muscles, but in many cases some of just the basic principles of how to make muscle are overlooked and sometimes not defined clearly enough. I think there's three main things that you need to consider, and there's a lot that falls under these three things, but the three main things that you need to keep in mind if you're trying to bulk up and put on lean muscle tissue. One is you have to stay well hydrated. You need to make sure you're consuming a lot of water every day. A good place to start, even for someone who doesn't even weigh too much, of even someone who only weighs 150, 60 pounds, or even if you're a lady who weighs a lot less, you want to start somewhere between 2 liters and 3 liters minimum every day. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're training with the proper protocol and training with the proper stimulation to literally cause muscle growth. And the last thing is going to be your caloric intake, and your caloric intake needs to be high enough to not only meet the needs of your daily overload that you're putting on the muscle, but literally aid in the recovery of the muscle. So they actually have to be a little bit higher than they would normally be just from maintenance. So in other words, if your maintenance calories on a daily level were to be, let's say, 2,200 calories, you will be consuming at least 2,700 calories a day to be on a path to put on 1 to 2 to 3 pounds of solid lean muscle, quite possibly by the end of that month, and even more if you're doing everything else right and even adding more calories. But the calories have to come with the right types of calories. They have to be lean proteins, complex carbohydrates. They have to be timed properly. But you've got to make sure that you're getting calories above your normal basal rate of just maintenance. Hydrated, water, again, think about it as being something that's absolutely priority. Your muscle cells are made up of mostly water. So without water, think about what is that, how is that going to affect your muscle contractions and your muscle growth? Without the proper amount of water, you're literally going to cause protein decrease. The very reason why you worked out is going to actually go in backwards and be somewhat, your muscles are going to become catabolic, which means everything that you did in the gym is wasted. So bulking up requires, number one, that you ingest and stay well hydrated. I would say anywhere from 10 ounces of water for every 15 minutes that you work out is a good place to just start, which would mean anywhere from 40 ounces if you're working out for a good long hour. A 40-ounce bottle of water would be baseline to cause enough damage if you're doing full body workouts every day, because muscle growth ultimately comes from muscle strength. If you're getting stronger, you can be sure that your muscle's accommodating that and you are literally putting on more muscle. But you can't do that if you're working your entire body every day. You think of it in terms of, you're starting with your shoulders, you're working your arms, and then you do your legs. Now, if you're doing your legs last in the workout, what do you think that's going to mean for how much you're going to be able to squat or leg press or whatever? Well, obviously that muscle group's going to suffer now, because by the time you get to the legs, you're tired, you're weary, your glycogen stores have been depleted. Therefore, split your body parts up. 2 or 3 days on, 1 day off, 2 or 3 back on. Legs 1 day, shoulders and arms, or push-pull is usually a good principle to make sure that you're having maximum strength for the muscle groups that you're working on, whether it be back, tries, and so on. And then lastly, make sure that your calories are there to meet the needs of that heavy-duty, hardcore workout. And as far as the workout goes, intensity is the one word that I would emphasize. Because without intensity, you're not going to give the workout everything that you have in your heart and in your mind. And you want to see the workout before you enter into the gym. Literally, you want to almost try to see every rep and set and increase in poundages on a pretty consistent basis. Then you'll know that you're gaining muscle. If you're gaining strength, you're gaining muscle. And the only way you can do that is by keeping a journal and keeping a tab of exactly how much you're lifting in any one given exercise.